Welcome, ACPS students. Thank you for joining us. In order to ensure that all are able to access this presentation in their preferred language, we are going to provide this session with simultaneous interpretation in Spanish, Amharic, and Arabic. After the interpreters have provided their instructions, please press the globe icon that will appear at the bottom of your computer screen and select your preferred language. If you're watching on a phone, press the three dots at the bottom right of your screen and then select your preferred language. Thank you. Now I'd like our interpreters to give instructions starting with Spanish, then Amharic, and then Arabic.
Por favor, presione el icono del globo que aparecerá en la parte inferior de la pantalla de su computadora y seleccione su idioma preferido. Si está mirando en un teléfono, presione los tres puntitos en la parte inferior derecha de la pantalla y luego seleccione su idioma preferido. Gracias.
እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ ሲፒኤስ ተማሪዎች በቋንቋ በተለያዩ ቋንቋዎች ትርጉም እየተሰጠ ነው ያለው በአማርኛ ቋንቋ የትርጉም አገልግሎትን ለምትፈልጉ በላፕቶፓችሁ ወይንም በኮምፒውተር ለምትጠቀሙ የዓለም ቅርጽ ያለበትን በመጫን አምሃሪክ የሚለውን በመምረጥ የአማርኛ ቋንቋ የትርጉም አገልግሎትን ማግኘት ትችላላችሁ እንዲሁም ደግሞ በስልካችሁና በታብሌት የምትጠቀሙ በስልካችሁ በላይኛው በኩል ያለችውን በቀኝ በኩል 3 ነጠብጣብ በመጫን የምትፈልጉትን ቋንቋ በመምረጥ አገልግሎቱን ማግኘት ትችላላችሁ ታንክ ዩ
مساء الخير أهالي مدارس مدينة الإكسندرية نشكركم على حضوركم معنا طبعا نشكر الطلاب على حضورهم معنا للتأكد من أنه الجميع يستخدم اللغات المختلفة له حسب الترجمة هذه الجلسة المناقشة مزودة باللغات الثلاثة العربية الأمهرية والإسبانيولية إذا كنتم عم تشاهدونا من الكمبيوتر رجاء الضغط على إشارة الكرة الأرضية لاختيار اللغة المناسبة لكم وإذا كنتم عم تشاهدونا من التليفون رجاء الضغط على النقاط الثلاثة لاختيار اللغة المناسبة لسماع هذه المناقشة باللغة المترجمة فورية. شكرا لحضوركم معنا.
And now let's welcome Dr. Hutchings, who will introduce our hosts and panelists.
And thank you all so much. Welcome, students. It's so good to see, well, I can't see you all, but it's good to have you all on the webinar today. We're here to provide you all with an overview of what we're doing now in the spring and what we're going to be doing in the summer, as well as the fall. And we just know how important it is for you all to be engaged in this process as well. Before we get started, I do want to introduce a couple of additional panelists that we have here today. Ms. Jacinta Green, who is one of our school board members, has joined us, and she will be filtering some of the questions that come from you all so that we can answer them today. We also have our vice chair, Ms. Veronica Nolan, who is joining us, or who has joined us this afternoon. And then we have our principal of Patrick Henry K-8, Ms. Ingrid Bynum, who is joining us as well, who will help present some information as well as answer some of the questions that we may have from you all today. So I want to just thank you all, one, for taking time out of your schedule. I know that today is actually a holiday for you because our staff, we're at working, we have a work day. And I know that you all got a little break from us for today. So I'm just happy that you were able to tune in to get some more information. So as I mentioned before, we're going to talk about some of the hybrid learning that's happening right now in the spring in our schools. And then we're also going to share some of the planning for the summer as well as the fall. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to ask Ms. Bynum to get us kicked off with information about what we're currently doing as we're welcoming some of our new students beginning tomorrow.
Hi, thank you so much, Dr. Hutchings. Hello, wonderful boys and girls of ACPS. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So I am here to talk to you a little bit about how we are currently welcoming back our awesome boys and girls to our schools. And we are doing this through a phased reentry process. And the principals in central office have worked very hard with our school teams to determine how students are coming back based upon a matrix. So we have 3 steps. And step 1 is we're confirming the intent of current hybrid students. So that is ensuring that we are talking to all families to confirm that hybrid students are returning, and if they have not attended by Tuesday, April 13th, then they will be converted back to virtual so we can make more space available for other students. Step 2, our process for accepting additional hybrid students, and that may be some of you. And so school teams are finalizing which homerooms and teams and or content teachers have the capacity for accepting additional hybrid students. So it's important to note that the acceptance of new students is a contingent upon each school's existing seating capacity. So school teams are using what we're calling the hybrid prioritization matrix to internally, and that means at our schools, identify students for hybrid instruction, and we will directly contact your parent regarding the phased reentry timeline. So we are prioritizing students in the following ways. The first way, we're choosing special populations, and that's any child that has an IEP that receives special education services. Our English language learners, our students who have 504s plans, and our students who are experiencing homelessness. So those are the first students that we're inviting back. The second set of students are students who are having any socio-emotional and academic learning support needs, and those are virtual students referred for SEAL Support Mondays. So some of you have already been contacted to return on Mondays for SEAL support, and you are a priority as well. Our third priority group are students who have earned a grade of D or F in one or more content areas, and our fourth group is multi-tiered system of support students, and those are students who are being progress monitored through our MTSS system, which is a hierarchical system that we use to determine your academic needs. And also students in the fifth level are students who are unable to access technology effectively, and that may mean students whose technology is going in and out, or they can't consistently have it, or they just don't have any technology. And number 6, are our students in family choice, and those are students who now want to access hybrid instruction. So you may have been virtual before, and you and your moms or dads have decided, hey, I want to go back to school. So we are now giving you a choice to return as well. And then any new students who've enrolled as of January 2021. So our Step 3 update is many of you may have heard that we are now planning to go to 3 feet of social distancing as opposed to 6 feet of social distancing, which is how we started our hybrid return. So we will have bus transportation that will transition to 3 feet of social distancing as of April 20th. So on April 20th, our bus transportation will go from 6 feet until 3 feet, and that will allow us to put more students on the buses. School principals are working with the facilities department and our custodial staff to adjust classrooms to 3 feet of social distancing. Right now, we're at 6 feet of social distancing, but we're working to do 3 feet of social distancing by April 26th. Facilities will also provide an update to schools on space and capacity at 3 feet of social distancing by April 27th. We will also confirm how many students will be returning based upon 3 feet of social distance, and that will give our food and nutrition services an opportunity to order all the food that you will need by April 30th. Our Human Resources Department will confirm any staff members approved for family medical leave or other forms of leave or absences, and that will tell us how many of your teachers can return. Human Resources will also confirm those staff whose temporary remote status for childcare needs that expire on May 3rd, 2021. And those staff members will need to return to welcome you. And those staff will be available for on-site work as of May 3rd, 2020, unless approved for family medical leave or some type of other leave. School principals will continue contacting parents. So that means we're making phone calls right now as of today based upon the hybrid prioritization matrix that I just showed you on the previous slide. And this will have most schools contacting families that fall within priorities 1 through 4. And then once we have additional spaces, we adjust to 3 feet, we will have our school teams contact groups 5, 6, and 7. And so that will be the majority of the rest of you. And so we are asking you to please refer to the phased reentry timeline below, and we'll show you that in just a moment. The citywide program for students with specialized needs will adjust to 4 days of in-person learning. So once again, those children in our citywide programs will adjust to 4 days a week of in-person learning. And here is our phased reentry timeline for our hybrid students. So if you look at the box all the way to the left, we are currently confirming and updating hybrid students that are intending to return. And we're also confirming new hybrid students based upon our prioritization matrix. So we're currently making phone calls to your families. We've been doing that since April 9th. And
Sorry for interrupting.
yes.
If the interpreter wanted you to just slow down a little
Slow
bit.
down a little bit more. Okay. Thank you.
you.
Okay. So once again, and I'm sorry about that interpreter, once again, we are currently in the process of calling all families based upon the prioritization matrix. And we're welcoming families back based upon that matrix. And we started that process as of April 9th. And so by April 12th, we updated PowerSchool information to input the information for our students, our elementary students who wanted to return, and we provided that list to transportation. And so as of April 16th, which was last Friday, if you are an elementary student who is returning this week, your families would have received your class assignment list. It was emailed to your families. So please ask your families to check their emails to ensure that this information is there. And we will be welcoming back these beautiful students as of tomorrow on April 20th for cohort A. And we will be welcoming back the other group of beautiful students for elementary on cohort B on Thursday, April 22nd. And for the secondary students, we are doing the same process. Last Friday was the deadline for us, for our schools, the K through 8 schools and the middle schools and the high school, to identify our students that need to return based upon the prioritization matrix. And so that leads us to today, which we are now updating our PowerSchool information so that we can ensure that you have proper transportation and your teachers know which students are going to return. And so for those secondary students in middle school and high school, you will receive your class assignment and your course information emailed to you on April 23rd, and that is this upcoming Friday. And so once that information is emailed to you, please have your parents check their email so you can receive all of the information and also information from your schools as to the plan for returning. That's how to get on campus and how to get off campus and any other information you may need. In addition, phased reentry for our cohort A for our secondary students, that's our middle school and high school students, will be next Tuesday, April 27th. We'll be welcoming back cohort A. And then on Thursday, April 29th, we will be welcoming back cohort B. And one piece of important information that I do want parents to know is that all meals right now in Alexandria for our school students who are returning hybrid will be free of charge. So your children will receive free breakfast and they will receive free lunch until the end of this school year. So back to you, Dr. Hutchings.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bynum. And students, I want to be able to share with you all what we're going to be doing this summer. We talked right now about the spring and what we're doing now, but we also have a summer in store for you all. And one particular thing that we are working on is making sure that your summer is not just about you getting the academic component, but that you also have some fun too. Because I know you all want to have fun this summer. So we had made sure that we have both academic and fun, such as camps and things that we're going to be able to offer you all this summer. We are hoping that everybody, of course, is a part of our summer learning because it's open to everyone, but we understand that some of your families may choose not to have you participate, but we are strongly encouraging all of our students to be involved in our summer learning for all. And then we're also going to be targeting some of our families to say, we really, really know that you, and we'll be telling your families that your child will benefit from coming this summer, because we want to make sure that next year when we start off, that you feel confident and you feel ready, for the fall. So this is why it's so important. But for our elementary school offerings, we're going to be providing pre-K and kindergarten, as well as first grade through fifth grade activities for you all. We're going to have our summer language academy, some music camps. We have K-Prep for our new kindergartners. We're finalizing those dates right now. That will be going out to you all really soon. And if you're in middle school, we're going to have our music camp that everybody loves, as well as that theater camp that everyone loves to be a part of. We will continue to do our summer bridge for our dual language, because that is an area that many of our dual language students like to be a part of prior to going into the middle school. Our summer bridge for AVID, as well as some boost courses to get you accelerated in middle school prep. For our high school students, if you all happen to be on this or watching this, because this is being recorded, we will have our AP boot camp and our AP calculus boot camps, as well as new credit courses where you can actually obtain additional credits and college credits this summer, which is pretty cool, as well as credit recovery. If you have some courses that you did not receive credit for in the past, this can be an opportunity to do credit recovery this summer. We're also going to have some literacy programs in our summer bridge with George Washington, our Health and Sciences Academy, which is going to be phenomenal as it is every year. We also have Jumpstart programs for you all as well. Summer learning this year is going to be from July 6th through August 12th. But I want to make it a point here that the first 4 weeks is our traditional summer learning. So the month of July is the traditional summer learning that everybody's a part of. This year, we've added a 2-week extension of virtual summer learning. This is for a select group of students that have been identified who still just need additional supports prior to the school year being started. So that's going to be more of on an invitation only basis of this extended time, but we will be working with students who just need that additional boost before we get back into the fall. Summer learning will also be opportunities for our students with disabilities, which is very, very important for everybody. And one thing that we are going to do is make sure that we offer, which some of you, if you are receiving special services, that we continue to offer our extended school year. And this is for students who are going to need that extended school year for language arts or mathematics. And we will be offering that opportunity for all of our students who are eligible for specialized instruction. We're going to be doing work for our English learners as well. And that's the next slide. Specifically, we're working with our teachers right now to ensure that they have the appropriate professional learning. So when we start providing our summer learning opportunities for our EL or English learner students, then they will be able to incorporate some of the EL best practices into our general education curriculum. There will also be opportunities for all of our students who are part of our EL services to receive different opportunities that relate to the 4 language domains. So that's listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And it's going to be important for you all to have that service provided as well. So that will be a part of our EL services this summer. Next slide. These are just some of the milestones, just like you all, as you're in school and you're thinking about all the things you have to do and different deadlines, whether it's a test or a quiz or a project, we also have milestones that we have to do to prepare for the upcoming year as well as for the summer. And we are right now working to get our staffing in place. And we're also going to be working to finalize our school day for our summer learning. Summer learning is only 4 days a week in July. So it's Monday through Thursday. It's not every single day. It's only half a day. So it's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. During the summer. But us finalizing those schedules are going to be important. And also finalizing our professional learning days for our staff. And then in June, we're going to start finalizing all the student schedules and making sure we're communicating those out to you and your families so that you know where you need to be in July. And then in July, we're going to get started. We'll launch our summer learning on July the 6th. Remember, for the month of July is summer learning for all. And some families may choose not to do this. It's not mandatory, but we are strongly encouraging all of our students to be a part of the summer learning. And then some students may be invited to be a part of the additional targeted instructional support that will be for an additional 2 weeks that's virtual from August 2nd through August the 12th. The final slide is about the fall planning, because everyone wants to know, well, what does next year look like, Dr. Hutchings, right? And one thing that we're going to be doing is we're launching a survey for all of our families in early May. This is to confirm your family's preference on whether you want to be an in-person student next year or whether you want to be a virtual student next year. Now, next year, we're going to have 5 days of in-person learning, which we're really excited about. We're going to go back to our 5 days, everybody, every day. That's no asynchronous Mondays next year, right? It's Monday through Friday. We are in school and in person. We also know that some of our families and some of you may not feel comfortable coming back to school or just may enjoy the virtual option. So we are developing a virtual academy, which will offer 100% virtual schooling for students next year. And this is what the survey is going to be about, whether you want to do in-person 5 days a week or whether you want to do virtual 5 days a week. But there will be no hybrid next year. It won't be kids coming in 2 days a week and home and 2 days a week here. You're either going to be in school 5 days a week in person, or you're going to be in school 5 days a week virtually. So that concludes our presentation portion. Now what we get to do is we get to hear from you. And we want to make sure that you use the question and answer chat to ask your questions. And then Ms. Green, who is one of our board members, she will read those questions and I will be able to answer them. Or if it's a board member's question, Ms. Nolan may answer them or Ms. Green may answer them. And if it's other questions, Ms. Bynum, she will be able to chime in and answer some of those questions. So let us go ahead and get started to see if we have any questions from you all. And we may have done such a great job that you all don't have anything.
But we do have questions.
Okay.
So question number 1 comes from a student whose family is planning a trip to Europe this summer, and I think they should take me with them. But the question is, will there be a requirement to quarantine 14 days or less after they return?
Yeah. So we will have to see what the guidelines are in August, right? As of right now, we are recommending, the CDC and the VDH is recommending that you quarantine, especially if you go overseas at this time, right? But in the summer, there may be different guidelines then. So if the guidelines change, it might be different, but the current guidelines does require families to quarantine, or anybody who travels overseas to self-quarantine before they return back to their normal work area or school or space.
Okay, great. Next question. Is there any chance that the school year will start after Labor Day and not in August? Regardless of the date, is ACPS considering using virtual method of delivery during the first 2 weeks of the school year, which will help with the quarantine requirement, if any?
So no, we are going to start school before Labor Day. So that is set, that date is set. So we're not going to start school after Labor Day. And we are also going to, hopefully we will be in a situation in the fall where some of these CDC guidelines, we won't even have to have kind of discussions like this in the future. But as of right now, we are still planning to start school a week prior to Labor Day, and having students who are in person back into our buildings 5 days a week. So as of right now, we do not have a plan to provide a quarantine prior to school.
Okay, next question. Just to make sure, the plan is to go back to school 5 days a week in the fall, correct?
That is correct. 5 days a week. 5 days a week in the fall. But we are offering the option for some families to do virtual as well, 5 days a week. So students will have 5 days a week of virtual, or 5 days a week of in-person is what will be offered in the fall.
All right, next question. Just to confirm, summer learning is in person, correct?
So some of the summer learning is in person. So there will be summer learning in person, and there's also summer learning virtual, because some people will still want to be virtual in the summer. So we are offering both 100% virtual for summer learning and 100% in person for summer learning. But summer learning is only 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. And it's only in the month of July where those in-person opportunities and virtual opportunities are offered. Some people will receive an invitation to be a part of a virtual 2-week extension the first 2 weeks of August, which will be virtual only. But to answer your question, yes, there will be in-person learning in the summer.
Okay. Do summer school classes go on high school students' transcript?
So yes, if you are taking a high school course that is a for credit course, it will go on your transcript, which is a good thing, because a lot of times you're doing credit recovery or some type of credit acceleration or trying to get additional credits. So those for credit courses will show up on your transcript. Things that won't show up on your transcript is if you're doing like a camp or some of those fun activities that we may have. Those are items that won't necessarily show up on your transcript. But I hope you will include them in your college applications if you choose to apply to college one day.
Great. And this next question, I believe, also pertains to summer school. Will there be homework?
It's hard to say. Depends on who you get, right? But there may be some homework. We're hoping that a lot of the work will be able to be accomplished during that time frame, that school time frame, because we also want you to get a little break, while you're on your summer vacation. So the way the curriculum right now is built is that, we're trying to get the work done during the school, that summer learning time. Some students do still need additional time though. So we also want to make accommodations and allow for students to have additional time when needed. But we're not planning to bombard you with a ton of homework all summer when we know you just had this long year.
Okay, Dr. Hutchins, I'm not seeing any other questions right now.
Well, that's great. I think that we covered a lot for you all. And one, we appreciate all the questions that you have been asking and for you taking the time out of your schedule to even join us today. This is recorded, so you can share with your friends if they're not on this session today. Let them know, hey, go and check it out. Dr. Hutchings and school board members and our principal from Patrick Henry, they shared information about our transition right now in the spring, and they shared information about the summer, and they also shared information about the fall. So we will post this for you to view in the future.
Another question came in, Dr. Hutchings.
Okay.
Will fall in-person virtual be taught by teachers concurrently, or will there be separate classes?
They will be separate classes in the fall. So there will be virtual classes, and then there will be in-person classes, and they're two separate things. We did the concurrent teaching this year and the hybrid approach this year because we wanted to keep our students with their teachers this year. And that allowed us to do that by keeping concurrent teaching in place and by, having this hybrid approach that we have been using. Next year, students will either be 100% virtual or they will be 100% in person.
Okay, I don't see any more questions.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for your time, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Please tell your families that we said hello, and we also want to make sure that you continue to stay informed, because it is so important as students to remain informed with this whole process. Have a good day. Bye-bye.